Hello YouTube, and welcome to episodes 5 and 6 of my Symphogear Exiv reaction series. Back here again finally for some more Symphogear. So yeah, apologies for last weekend. I was away on a mini holiday, weekend away I guess you would call it. So yeah, couldn't record in time or put something out, which was unfortunate. Just like Thursday through to Monday, entirely like my Symphogear time. So it is what it is. I apologize, and kind of hopefully I'm making up for it by bookending like the first week with 2 episodes and this week with 2 episodes as well. Yeah, it was unfortunate that Symphogear had to be the one that suffered. Either way, I got some YouTube comments here to read from 11 days ago, so, you know, I don't know if I'll remember everything. That's probably going to be a bigger problem overall, me kind of trying to remember what happened and stuff. Maybe I'll go through that last episode quickly again. It's the amalgam stuff. There's been some kind of coup on the bridge. They got called out after the whole Sanjiman Hibiki business. Either way, starting with the first new comment here by Jared Merrow. Getting a new gold form and having your stand duet with you while you 1v3 the bad guys without breaking a sweat is objectively cool AF. Yeah, like a character from a previous entry in the series just became like a stand, and we're just going to fuck shit up basically. I think the implication is that this will be like a new power-up mechanic overall, which is cool, like replacing Ignite almost. So we'll see if we just, default to that. If everybody has Amalgam songs, potentially you would see Cagliostro and Prolati back in this kind of form as well. Gives them a good excuse to keep them involved anyway. Next comment here by Pencil Sharp. Chris has come a long way from I'll Stomp on Your Head. True. The progression throughout 5 seasons of television has been stark. I like the lyrical progression from GX. I know how to hold hands, but not how to reach out, and now I've come far enough to lead the ones who guided me. An honest, foolish futurism. This is all Chris lyrics, and futurism being the title of the ED she sings last season. We've come full circle. It's legitimate character development over the course of the lyrics of many songs, which is pretty good. Come far enough to lead the ones who guided me. Potentially your friends are going to be in a little bit more turmoil than you this season, and you may need to pick up the slack. Again, full circle on everything else. Next comment here by Cerberus. I kind of agree about Millark. She has a good design, even though she bad. She kill or not, she have many fan too. I kind of like Millark 2, I would imagine 2. Don't judge me though. I'm struggling with this. I think, a lot of aspects about her character design and demeanor generally are endearing. I like these kind of over-the-top evil characters. But she did kind of murder thousands of people. So I'm kind of trying to rectify or justify that in my head. Like, ethics or anime? Like one of the two, I don't know. I'm probably on her side. She seems like she's got some broad stuff, or they have some broad stuff about being perceived as monsters by the outside world, and then acting monstrous as a result. So, I mean, I've seen that one before. Generally, we need some hand-holding action to take place there, which is going to be hard. It's going to be hard with, all the concert baggage, but we'll see. Seraph Armoros with the next comment here, going into various stuff about both of the episodes from last week or the week before. This is a great point. So I said, like, we already have the Symphogear and they're pretty good, but Fudo doesn't have the Symphogear. They're not Japanese anymore. They're not kind of, here's the puppet control. It's the UN. And we hate that. We're like xenophobic. So yeah, that's his weird justification for what he needs to do. He needs something of his own. Hence Gauntlet, hence Divine Power. We'll see where that goes. Bold of me to assume that Fudo actually cares about his children beyond whether they can continue the Sentinel legacy or not. His family have been secret guardians of Japan for centuries, so to him duty is everything. Yeah, no room for warm, cuddly emotion there at all. As we go into a little bit later with Bamps, essentially he's behind the concert attack that fucked up Tsubasa. So, again, he's a bad guy. He's, like, really bad. And you know what I mean. And yeah, just bringing up Echelon here as a network of incredibly powerful supercomputers. The UN used this to wipe all records of Mario's terrorist actions from the internet between 2 and 3. why she can continue to exist and not be arrested, I guess. Now, moving on to episode 4, we're going to call it the Spider Barrier. It's the same barrier used to block the Opera House in Valverde from detection. Supposedly, it blocks all types of signals from escaping, as well as influences the mind of people, causing them to ignore whatever's inside. The explosion destroyed the spider symbol on the wall, thus, we were able to detect the base, and Fudo didn't dodge the explosion, he stood in it. Again, he was unnaturally strong as well, which is something we need to watch. Like some kind of, again, Genjiro is like unnaturally strong as well. So I don't know if it's particularly super relevant. Maybe it's just like a thing in the family, but you know what I mean. Like something's up there, especially this standing in the explosion thing. But yeah, I saw the spider symbol definitely. So this particular set of villains always has some trick in mind to get ahead again. They're comparatively weak to the heroes. They know it. They have to fight dirty, and we'll continue to watch this manifest as we continue. Seemed like we were pretty close to handhold new, world record. So like, I don't know. They were feeling some kind of sympathetic way. You'd imagine there would be some change to that based on the events of the last episode or towards the end there, so we'll see. That thing Ogawa found in the rubble, we've actually seen it somewhere before. Now, I wanted to go have a look at this. Now, here it is. I'm not quite sure I recognize this Beyblade. I guess we'll find out in due time. I had some I thought it was like the Tiki thing, but it's clearly not. Yeah, I don't know. I do not know. So another one for me to watch for later in the story. Alex Marsh next comment here. Millark may be evil, but she has a cool design, so that makes it okay. Which is essentially where I'm at as well. Forgot to point this out in previous weeks, maybe somebody else has, but the Symphogear pendant on their gears has a new design this season, having the wings be a character color instead of the pinkish color like the gem normally is. Kinda sucks for Chris, Shirabe, and for some reason Mario, who get a similar pinkish color, but it looks pretty noticeable and cool looking on Kirika, Hibiki, and Tsubasa. So I'll look out for this as well. New little pendant relic thing. Damps brings up this point here where Fudo was fully aware of everything that was going on with the concert and probably, he was the backer there. He was the one that had the in. So yeah, it's he emotionally fucks with them, which I did put in the video, but I mean, not everybody watches every part of the video, so I understand. I do this a lot for all my series, actually. Like people, I'll be like, I definitely said that. I definitely said something to that effect, but it's fine. A lot of people only watch the reactions. That's sweet too. Bamps continues here as an unapologetic Chris Stan. Her XV henshin makes me sad. I think somebody else brings this up as well. It does feel very speedy and it tracks the body a lot. It doesn't give it enough room to breathe. But we do love her song though. I believe her VA has a writing credit for these lyrics too. Also, insane callback as Hibiki pulls on the GX Beach episode for the volleyball serve to launch Chris. Really? Is that actually a callback? Like volleyball, like a volleyball serve, which would be like a throw up and then Yeah, I don't remember seeing this, but it was also 2 weeks ago, so you know what I mean. Trails to the Plus, next comment here. Ready Go truly is the latest and greatest in Symphogear song tech. Kamakura is trying really hard to become the ultimate terrible dad. He very, very much is winning now. Shoutouts to Top Dad. Top Dad hasn't re-emerged yet, but it'll take some beating, I think, now. For Kamakura. In hindsight, him pointlessly undermining our team over Zoom all season makes more sense, now that he is literally like the bad guy. Exiv is out here doing season finale transformation forms already. Hibiki singing a soul duet with the ghost of Sanjaman might be the most Symphogear hype moment I think about the most, with the space shuttle rescue coming in a close second. It was cool. I like the space shuttle more though. It was just more multifaceted, I guess. This one's a little bit more supremely anime, I guess, where this one's just if this was an action scene in a Mission Impossible movie or something, I'd be like, yeah, that's fucking awesome. Just a little bit more dynamic. Probably one of the highlights of the series so far for me personally. Now that we've brought it up again, the space, it's just so cool. I believe the last 2 comments are by Bonnie, but I also think Kosogtha had something in Discord from memory that I'll look at. One of the episode 3 thoughts here from Bonnie either way. The way we frame Biki and Miku on the couch is interesting, separated, looking in completely different directions, not seeing eye to eye. Yeah. There's some Hibiki Miku stuff brewing. I don't know if you guys have caught on to that. The segue noise, don't remind me, that was traumatizing. Chris's transformation is over in a flash. Wish we had more breathing room, but fun nonetheless. Yeah, like essentially that's my feelings as well. The boob reload is a reference to Grenadier Hoho Emi no Senshi, I'd imagine. Sure, I'll take your word for it. I just thought it was like cheesy action movie stuff. Chris retiring her minigun in favor of pistols. Good point. I didn't really, yeah, I noticed her with pistols is different to what I'd normally seen, but I didn't really articulate why. The timing of attacks syncing with the beat of Chris's song is particularly good in this fight, like when Biki comes in with the saving kick. Yeah, like the lyrics actually mirroring what's on screen. There's a part where I believe the refrain is fire, and she's literally firing on, oh my god, her name. Oh, what's her name? Elsa, firing on Elsa. Yeah, it's going to take me a while, sorry guys. We also managed to stop teleporting Crystal BS for once. Good aim, Chris. The gear users have had just about enough of that. You know, the stuff where they just get the crystal and just go, and then just run away. It's very frustrating. Well, kind of frustrating. It's also cheesy and good, but like, you know what I mean. It's good that the heroes have finally caught onto it. I like to imagine Fudo was muted on group call listening to Kirika and Shirabe's whole catch-up barbecue exchange. Yeah, he's probably listened to a ton of bullshit that the heroic team talk about, because it seems like he's just like on his PC, he's just like lurking, and then it's like, I'm evil. He turns on his mic and goes crazy. Yeah. I don't know, man. He's like, songs can't save the world. We've seen it happen like a ton of times. Like, even back to season 1. Remember where everybody, like, all the Lydian people singing at once powered literally a miracle to happen with Hibiki? And by extension, Tsubasa and Chris. That whole X Drive scene. That's literally been a thing from the start that you would have known about. I don't know. He needs to be evil, so, you know. I think we bring it up somewhere else as well, but yeah, they're definitely stupider this season, Kirika and Shirabe, which I'm enjoying the Oyoyo. You know the one. I'm very much not a talented voice actor, but yeah, they're stupid and it's funny, is my point. We're doing a lot of the ice skating stuff with Kirika and Shirabe, even incorporating it into her transformation sequence. She does indeed say Kiri towards the end, which is, say the line, very gay. Now, this was the one I was missing last week. Vanessa is Frankenstein's monster. Something in that realm, hence the stitching in the silhouette in the opening. I don't know what all the Astro Boy stuff is with that, but sure, like something like a scientist's creation. Think about it that way. And yeah, Fudo's entire plan revolving around fucking with Tsubasa, like orchestrating the attack on the concert, knowing her baggage there, and then berating her for not saving everybody or not getting the bad guys, even though you control the bad guys. He's just bad. He's a bad guy. Now on to episode 4. Secret Agent Goon failed to realize he wasn't the main character, so then he, like, Indiana Joneses himself while grabbing the gauntlet. Yeah, the song getting cut off by the landmines is fantastic as well. It's just good comedy. Oh, and the Punch Hamster finally has her own little gold hamster ball. So that's fun as well. The Amalgam song actually is a returning song from Axis that I talked about as well. Originally, like, they did a live concert duetting with Sanjiman. They performed it on stage. It was great. They decided to include it as part of the anime. So just, you know, some logical stuff there. Hibiki stopping her fist before striking Vanessa. Same scene with Fine in season 1. That's a little bit of a callback. Totally got that kind of finale feeling to this season. And then Hibiki speedrunning the hand holding at this point. Achieving that world record time, episode 4. We're leading towards hand holding stuff, which is crazy. Noble Red probably would have turned right there if it wasn't for Fudo's meddling, implying that whatever this coup is probably Fudo, which is a pretty easy prediction. So yeah, this is Kosogtha's comment. I've put it into Google Docs just for the hell of it, because it makes it easier to record. And yeah, because YouTube kept eating it, and it's very, very, very long. So strap in. We're probably just going to skim it, because a lot of the points have probably been said elsewhere, but yeah, we'll give it a good read here now. I do remember Discount and Ver from the start of the 3rd episode as well. We hate Ver, we hate Discount Ver even more. This initial scene straight after that, where kind of Hibiki and Miku are talking, the Top Dad stuff, it wasn't just like fixed. Like the years he was gone aren't erased. It's something they're both working on, and it's not clear how to work up. This is the most realistic thing in the show thus far, probably. That hey, these kind of things, they're not just going to fix themselves. As we've talked about, the framing backing this up as well. I do remember the illegal. Wants me to correct it. I'm not correcting that. I do remember the illegal goods being a certain blood type. Sending the Segway noise after them was a nice touch. Talking about Chris's henshin again, it being probably a little bit too quick, but everything else is being great about it though. Like just that one tracking shot that's probably just a little bit on the quicker side. Once we get out of that, it's full of personality. Love the bullets. Good part there. Chris's song today is Take This, All Loaded. I'm imagining that's one title. It carries on the trend, lyrical references to all of her previous combat songs, as well as a B-side song from Season 1, as well as Futurism from the ED. Well, loads and loads of references there. As one commenter alluded to before, Chris is changing weapons, potentially. Away from a weapon that can, collateral damage everything else, and moving to something that's a little bit more downsized, a little bit more controlled, which is nice. It mirrors her character development. She's using extremely powerful but extremely accurate revolvers. Because she's in a city, she doesn't want to just hit random people. Remembering childhood, remembering what happened to Stefan, not wanting to just cause such a thing to happen again to somebody else. This fight's cool. Again, the improved animation over the course of this season. More pronounced gun kata, more like dancing. We'll need to watch this action evolve as we continue as well. We get to see that red hot blaze in action right after taking out one of the teleporting crystals too. Chris definitely has good moments in this particular fight. So now we go into Vanessa of Noble Red, hailing from Stanley, Hong Kong. Sure. It's not really a very Hong Kong name, though. So she's the daughter of two members of the Illuminati, one being the president of Hammer Films. And I know Hammer Films, right? Probably leading to that Universal monster movie motif we have going on. Also, Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein in Villa Diodati, and her last name is Diodati as well, so that's an extra reference there as well. She's the big sister of the group. She was actually a genuine Illuminati member in the past, and she of course completes the trilogy of the movie monsters with these people. The Wolfman and the Vampire, of course. We go into some extra stuff about the blood used, that it's actually whole blood, and the donated samples are separated into components for more beneficial use. So doing this kind of thing is weird, but they're also monsters, so it's not so weird. And then there's some more stuff about this particular blood type, which is rare, but it's not wholly invented. There's actually an RH factor of blood. So much like a lot of different things, it has some real world application, this kind of Symphogear lore stuff. Because I was actually, what was I doing? I was watching a video on YouTube. It was a conspiracy iceberg or something to that effect, and they brought up a lot of kind of ancient alien type ideas. And I'm like, that's from Symphogear. That's just straight up from Symphogear. So clearly the creators did their job of finding some actual real world stuff to consider in these kind of things. So yeah, I like that kind of segment, almost kind of relating it to our real world. And yeah, we're taking this special blood. Fluid Panacea is what we're calling it, named after the goddess of universal remedy. This is almost certainly a literal name, a miraculous cure-all drug capable of healing any ailment. They're hanging out at Los Alamos. We remember the Echelon project from before as well. But yeah, Los Alamos is essentially FIS base plus relic research plus where they were doing that weird thing with the bracer. Oh yeah, and I remember Shem Ha as well. Shem Ha is the bracer, right? And there's some Yahweh stuff from it. Look at all this. Look at all this stuff. There's so much Symphogear shit. Look at this. Fudo sucks. True. I think we say something again towards the end of this comment, because I think the last line is literally just Fudo. So, yeah, Fudo sucks. But yeah, the Shirabe transformation sequence is really good. Probably one of the best ones so far, which is, yeah, coming from a long way back, let's say, with Shirabe. And yeah, continuing this theme of them being kind of dumb, but also Kirika and Shirabe winning, which they don't do a lot. Again, finale stuff. They've come a long way. Oh yeah, Vanessa kind of EMP'd a whole hospital. Good point. I hope they have backup power. That would be bad. And also potentially Kirika being scared of the dark. I didn't notice that, but sure, keep an eye on it. And now on to episode 4. We're using some of that blood, some implied stuff about the imperfect status of Noble Red as a whole. There's a very quick scene where Hibiki and Miku have lunch, which was nice. But also from memory, it was mirroring kind of Hibiki and Noble Red having similar struggles at that point in the story. Tsubasa's feeling justifiably pretty angry at the moment. Which is true. We're activating the relic with a bunch of alchemy bullshit. True, I remember that. The spider we've talked about as well. Elf9 never gets any holidays or breaks because fuck Elf9, apparently. I'm still very confused about what the hell is a Los Alamos. I just don't know. Either way, it was in Japan, so they weren't like teleporting across the world to get back to their base, which is good. Yeah, and the broad monstrous who is the monster, who is the man type theme. Milak kind of desperately wants to protect the two other people in her team. How far will she go for that? Is this is this tenable? I don't know. It's an interesting one, right? Well, interesting that all the FIS girls, so Kirika pole danced, interestingly enough. Shirabe figure skates, and Mario does the whole rhythmic gymnastics thing, which is interesting. All right, I'm gonna need to skip that. There's so much here. But essentially amalgams, essentially like Daedalus monster, essentially landmines were cool, essentially waveform. We're gonna need to dial back the comments. I'm sorry, Kasok. It's way too much. Like, I've been recording for almost 20 minutes on this comment alone. I can't, that's untenable. I can't keep doing this. So just dial it back a little bit. Just a little bit. Can't have, what is this? 16 pages of my Google Doc of a comment. I can't keep doing it. But thank you for the support regardless. Just dial it back just a little bit. All right, so now the episode itself, there was a coup. We need to see what that's about. Hisfudo revealed himself to everybody else that he's actually like an evil bloke. Does he have cameras on the fight so he knows the perfect time to go in and do that? We don't know. But yeah, he's essentially bad. Good. Okay, I'm going to move on to the episode now. Shill stuff. If you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I could do to improve my presentation. Comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you would like me to follow you back. And the Discord. Join Discord. Love Discord. Discord. And yes, finally, jumping into episode 5 of Symphogear Exiv right now. Rightio, get episode 5 of Symphogear Exiv up there, ready to go. 23 minutes and 40 seconds on this one, so sync up accordingly. Still using that, it has a funky name, Quartz subs. Using the Quartz subs this time, picture in the description below if I didn't say it already. Just going to give it a 3, 2, 1. Rightio, 3, 2, 1, go. I don't think this works particularly well for you from memory. I think you get even sewed. Yes. I now remember. And I am recording, which is good too. Oh, look, she's so gold. And the extra fists too as well. Oh, okay, we're just running. Pick up Elsa like a child in the supermarket. Alright, I mean, I thought there'd be something else there. They just kind of ran away. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Because, I mean, it looked like she was going to, like, we want to be friends, handhold time. It looked like Vanessa was at least into it, so I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Well, either way, we're back in this opening, which is quite good. One collective brain cell. I wonder, yeah, we saw, oh my god, Serena there. How's that going to impact things? Same with that. Like, are these actually going to be, like, plot developments? for each of these characters, like, behind them? Because I know the Tsubasa one definitely is. Oh yeah, you do see a bit of stitching there, but it almost looks like it's like riveted in. Oh yeah, I'm allowed to watch the opening now, by the way. Apparently the thing that was the spoiler was just Hibiki amalgam form. Yep. Yeah. She's punching towards the moon, though. That's interesting. Alright, I mean, I guess it is a spoiler, broadly. Huh? Look at this freak. We hate this guy. I called him like Colonel Sanders last week. But it is. It very clearly is. Yeah, punch him in the back of the head. That's what I'd do. Look at this lawyer guy. Talk to the hand. Yeah, they are. Well, he didn't. He would just make up whatever bullshit he needed to do. What, are you stupid? Acquiesce? Why? Yeah. Yeah, you don't understand words. Well, we don't have anything to hide, but also you guys are, like, we were about to win. Well, it seems like you're in Fudo's pocket. I don't like the uniform on those guys, too. I don't like the maroon. Whatever you say, Hibiki. Where is here? Okay. Where are we hiding, by the way? It's a big old crater. Okay. Whatever you say. Alright. Thanks for the drugs. Okay. I don't even know what I'm looking at there. Oh my god. That was brutal. I see. Okay. Alright. Oh my god. I'd rather be dead. Alright, this is the whole Frankenstein motif coming into it, right? Okay. Are those your legs? They're curled up in a ball, yeah. Oh, look at this as like a labyrinth too. He was just like standing there. Yeah, but his plan is evil. No. He has a bad habit of just saying the worst thing possible. You guys think of yourselves as monsters? Well, keep being monsters. I see. Gotcha. Okay, so that's the chateau, right? I think. Should be the chateau. Alright, what are we doing, fake dad? Okay. Okay. Shady characters? Of course there is. But I guess this is like, they're learning it, right? Okay, yeah, I do. I have solid proof. I saw the show. Alright, bootlicker. Say whatever you want. You shouldn't. You shouldn't believe in some people. Yeah, we keep looking at this Luna thing, like looming in the distance of the season too. The snow motif too. Okay, got a backup plan to deal with the US. Okay. You should be more suspicious though. Okay, thanks. Who's in the bath? Oh yeah, platonically. No, it kind of ended really poorly. And yeah, we're all on standby. It's not really time off. They're telling him to stand down. Yes, Chris, they are. They all did the G is the joke. Elf9 doesn't get days off. No, you don't. You haven't had a day off in your entire career. Yeah, it sounds intense, doesn't it? She even makes relaxing seem like hard work. There's no wrong way. I just think you should get weekends off. Party animal? I wouldn't. Who's the party animal? She's a party animal? I wouldn't call her a party animal. Especially right now, she's being sad in the bath. Whatever you do, stop shooting me in the face. Yeah, she certainly does have pistols. Alright, what are they doing now? Some Monogatari areas here today. What are these arms? Look at where it's bending. What are you guys gonna go do? Alright, but I mean... Tsubasa clearly isn't, like, okay. Like, hey, we're out with Elf9, though. Elf9's probably having a good time. Great. That's a great way to get her to sing. Vibes are off. Vibes are off like crazy. I mean, Tsubasa's like right there. She can hear you. What a weird way to talk about it in third person. Shut up. Just Elfnud's just singing her heart out regardless. What a terrible vibe. The vibes are horrendous here. She's just singing. Alright, this scene's hilarious. That's good. One of us has to. Oh no. What? What was that frame too? What? What is happening? This is so awkward. Oh, yeah, I remember this. How different is the art style? Always held back the sorry I wanted to say. Very awkward place to have this argument, though. But, interesting. So this is what Miku was thinking the whole time. Wonder if this will influence some later Miku plotlines. Who the hell are you? Exactly. Not calling them by their actual names, like their designation instead. It's Kyogre, what the hell? Oh my god. What? That's not ominous at all. That's definitely not going to be a last goodbye for a while at all. There's definitely not an artificial reason for this happening at all. Have we seen a Tsubasa transformation sequence yet? I don't think we have. Oh, this song already bangs, though. Yeah, we definitely haven't seen this. Okay. Alright. The fire is very interesting. Hers might be just the best one. I'm sorry, guys. Yo, even the Flash are like, yep, perfect. Gotcha. I get the feeling that this is like a fake conflict, though. For some other reason. Okay. Interesting pause there. Oh, because she's super punching. Gotcha. She just had to charge up. Shut up. It's all off. It's all off. Nah, I'm not following orders. Don't follow these orders. Shut up. No, Sabat, bro. Somebody get this, like, stained glass window bullshit off of her. How? How, bro? Shoot her in the head. I hate the... Yeah, I hate her. Okay, doing that spin shit. Yeah, but think about it. Hello. And that same sound effect. Yeah. Get this bullshit off of her. What if somebody was in that car? Bro, she's literally got PTSD. Somebody help her. What? There's so many. She's in your head like crazy. Yeah, what is the big guy in the sky? Despite her being like in a bad spot, this is pretty fucking cool. Yeah. This is that shit. Okay, Kyogre's dead in a bloody cloud of smoke. Well, she's not wearing a coat. That's like a building. You don't need to go that hard. Yeah, that's... Whatever happened to collateral damage? What if Snowman was human? Consider. It's just that one noise. Yeah. Okay, pretty effective. I like the snowman metaphor there. Burning trees good too. Go give her a hug. She literally got, like, brain blasted by somebody. Who is they? Oh, it's almost like there was some kind of plan. Not the random security camera. Don't go back for Elf9, leave her. Yeah. You gave me the runaround. Miku-san. Why? I thought it would have been for Miku. I'm bringing you both in. What is Sharp Nail doing? Does he need to pee? Yeah, what the fuck? No, not Miku fucking dead. Miku's not fucking dead. I'll put $10 trillion on Miku not having her head fucking flopped off on the floor. Well, this feels very contrived to get to a point where we need to get to. Like, I don't know. I feel like everybody should be smarter than this. I like that Genjiro and Ko did come in with the court order. I don't know. I feel like they should be smarter. Because, yeah, I can see plot developments coming right now from a mile away. I'm just kind of waiting for them to happen so we can get to the cool stuff again. Even that fight was a feel bad fight. So despite it having cool animation and stuff, and Tsubasa doing all her spin shit, like, it's just like, I know this is fake. I know that this is still further Tsubasa being like in a bad place time stuff. I don't know. It feels bad. It's just the vibes were just horrendous this episode across the board. I know they're supposed to be, but I don't know. There's still something normally to hang a hat on, like some kind of positive. Very Symphogear for me. And yeah, a little bit of analysis on episode 5. So yeah, I gave most of my thoughts there in the ED. What did I like this episode? I found the karaoke scene funny. That was funny. But yeah, I just feel like, I don't know. I hate it. I hate watching villains just get away with shit, right? I don't know. I'd much prefer us to just be past this part of the story where there's this coup happening and it's very obviously phony. But I think it'd be more interesting if we weren't privy to the Fudo connection yet. I don't know how you would write it, but if it was just like, they're like, oh, we need Miku. Oh, we need this. Oh, we need that. And we still see kind of Fudo in the background just like pulling strings. It still could be like Miku, we just grab like tangentially. We're actually after Elf9 for whatever reason. We just grab Miku for the heck of it, and then that plotline starts. Because again, the biggest setup into this season is the Miku divine power thing, implying that what could have happened to Hibiki, or what did happen to Hibiki in the end of last season, could happen to Miku. That is the most clear setup foreshadowing thing we saw in the end of the last season. So that has to come to fruition at some point. We have something that possesses divine power. We're apparently trying to meld this into a sword. Sword could be anything metaphorically. You know what I mean? I feel like I know where we're going there. And I feel like there would be some tension around it if I just didn't know who was behind it already, right? I don't know. Just a slight restructure there would make it a little bit more exciting to me. Because for right now, I'm just seeing like the villains just winning for 20 straight minutes, which just felt bad. I don't know, because I like the characters. I don't want to see them in this situation. And what'll result from this, right, is a very, very strong high towards the end, right? We're going to come out of whatever this is towards the end of the season in a very cool way. Whatever manifests from here, I know Symphogear, and we're going to get a great climax up out of it that's very positive for everybody involved. And that's going to feel awesome. So for right now, I'm kind of just like eating my medicine, and it'll make me feel better later. And I don't know, it was a whole episode of medicine. Just, yeah, horrendous vibes, scary, people like sad all the time. Nobody knows what's going on. Yeah, it's just bad. But again, that's the intention, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I'll get into the episode proper, so hopefully we can get some kind of resolve out of episode 6. So one of the first, like, really lame things of the episode are these guys just, like, running away. Again, I'd need to see here a little bit earlier. Like, she was genuinely about to accept. Like, look at this eye, right? Like, you're surprised. Why didn't you just, like, pummel me? Why didn't you kind of act violently towards me without care, with malice, like everybody else up to this point in my life? Why did you show me some kind of restraint there? I feel like this would be an inspiring moment, and then it's just like, nah, there's a coup. Okay, we're leaving, bye. I don't know. I feel like there should be some Sanjaman type energy to it, a little bit more like some conflict here. Some, I don't know if this is the right way. And maybe that is coming, but I didn't see any of that this episode. They're just straight back on their evil shit. Like, this person gave me the benefit of the doubt and treated me like a human being compared to Fudo, who treats me like a monster. I don't know. I just feel like we should get to some certain points in the story quicker. I just do. And them just getting out of this like they do is, one child under the arm walking out of the supermarket type vibe. I just, I didn't like it. This episode is called What the Bag Hides, which I don't really understand. Also, large swaths of this episode are talking about political red tape, which I'm just not really a fan of. Like, this is why we can do this. This is why we can do this. This is why we can do this. Essentially, you guys are scared of UN stuff and powerful weapons. You guys, Colonel Sanders, and you guys just want to do heroic stuff and can't, because the special investigation is ongoing. This guy here literally shows up at the end of the episode as like part of the evil team, as part of Noble Red, essentially. And he's just the worst. He's gonna like pee himself in excitement of seeing somebody's like head get chopped off or whatever. I feel like at this point they're just literally making stuff up. Like the bad guys. They're like, that paperwork we submitted last year allowed us to do this. Well, we didn't know about this weapon. Well, if this didn't eventuate, this amalgam thing, you would just find something else. I just feel like, again, it's shady as hell. And it feels like everybody else is too stupid to realize it, and then we get the Tsubasa line later. Feel bad. It's a feel bad episode. Like, even this guy's shit-eating grin, it's not doing anything for me at this moment. I just kind of want him out of my show. I don't care for this. You wish you were Ver. You know what I mean? Good moment here where Kiriko doesn't understand what acquiesce means, which is funny. So essentially, the consequence from this is, hey, we're allowed to be Symphogears. We're allowed to do the Symphogear stuff and save people. Can't use the amalgam stuff yet until it gets authorized, as well as we're going to take over the bridge. So that's why we see that random person on the bridge giving them intel later on. That is phony intel that is meant for something else to happen, to like separate them. Now we're here, the last place anyone would think to look. We're on the top of 2 towers, and it looks like we're surrounded by chateau stuff. I'd imagine this is the chateau. They're just hanging out in the chateau, which is a pretty cool little reference. Again, it was just kind of sitting in an area of this city that would be abandoned, so no one would think to look at the old base of another set of villains from a previous season, so I like that touch. That's pretty cool. As soon as Fudo took over that area of the government as well, he can essentially make this like a no-fly zone. Like, nobody can even look here, even if they want to. So it is the perfect place to house some evil scheme. And we're going to get them to forge the divine power into a blade fit for a sentinel. Whatever this may mean. You will require energy for the activation, and we are preparing for that now. Don't really know about this. And then we get, like, the blood, I don't think is the energy here, right? This is meant to power them so they can accomplish this. And that's why we see Millark out later doing what she's doing. So, something about Elfnine, broadly? I guess Elfnine has some alchemist roots. Taking her into the chateau is kind of interesting as well. Wonder if we'll get a little Carol cameo or something somehow. That'd be funny. So even now, after like telling them their job and blah blah, like I'm still gonna put the foot down and tell you guys that you were like unable to perform adequately. Like, what? You just suck so bad. We get into some crazy backstory for Vanessa. So she was with the Bavarian Illuminati as a Faust robe researcher. There was an incident, she got exploded, and now her destroyed body was replaced with the very Faust robe she was researching. She's like a cyborg, but also there's some obvious Frankenstein stuff coming into it as well, based on the evil experiments that were done to you after the fact as well. You may feel like you don't belong anymore as a result of that. Some kind of monster, some kind of creation of something that is somewhat unnatural. That whole, there's even some transhumanism things here, right? Like am I human anymore? Am I just merely Faust robe now? Will my humanity shine through, or will this other side, this perfection side, take control? Ooh, I didn't notice. Is this something that's permanently in her hair, just like a big bolt at the end? That'd be a great touch. I don't think so, but for right now, it's great. It's kind of sending me. It's very good. Yeah, the lightning, humiliated as a guinea pig for research. Yeah, Frankenstein. And the only reason I endured that pain was for the other test subjects, Millark and Elsa. This is giving me huge, massive FIS vibes as well, kind of mirroring Mario, Kirika, and Shirabe. So we made our escape, but the bad part is we continue to need this blood to even survive. The collapse of the Illuminati specifically being the turning point here that allowed this to happen. So they need the blood. Who walks in with a bunch of the blood? Fudo, do my evil scheme, and I'll give you blood. I'll let you live, basically. So for all this talk about being free, they're still the slaves of some other asshole. Great. Yeah, unpopular opinion, I think you're too evil. I'm gonna be real. Like, I like everybody else besides you so much that it's just like unforeseen levels of wanting you just out of the picture so everyone can be happy. Even more than previous characters that we've seen up to this point. Like Ver. Ver's child's play. Like I've full 180'd on Ver. Ver was great. Get this guy. We don't care. Fine, great too. Like the two sides of Fine, like a little bit of tension there, a big reveal potentially later in that first season. Even somebody like a Carol. Carol, outwardly pretty evil, has some redeeming qualities somewhere, making the fights, I don't know, like, I don't know who I want to win sometimes, right? I just want you gone. And I think is that the show doing a good job or doing too much of a good job to the point where I just can't stand looking at him? I don't know, because I feel this way in other stuff as well. I'm trying to think of other stuff that has like really evil villains that just get away with shit. Oh, great example. I don't know if anybody's seen the Danganronpa sequel anime stuff, but similar vibes there, where character is so stupendously evil and everybody else is so likable that I just want the one evil person gone. Like there's no redemption there. I guess the redemption in that particular one is that in Danganronpa the particular villain is so entertaining they almost make up for it. Where Fudo's just like, who cares? He's just evil. I don't know. I think the faster we get out of this portion of the story, the better for mine. Yeah, this specific line too. If you are monsters, then you must do your job as only monsters can. Noble Red, great, love that. Awesome. I don't. This is the antithesis of what these characters need. And the zoom out reveal of the chateau, I think, right? This conversation broadly pretty coolly set up with the like covert, almost spy setup for it, like the payphone with the stick with the the safe line. But broadly, Yatsuhiro, Tsubasa's fake dad, broadly he's very frustrating here as well. He's like, I'd love to help you more, but I can't. I'm focusing on this rocket launch thing. We're suspicious, but we can't be suspicious without evidence. And again, this is frustrating for the audience because we just know. We just know who the bad guy is already. I feel like, again, I don't know how you finagle it. Not revealing the Fudo stuff yet would make this conversation more tense. Like, there's a rat among us, right? I don't know, like a little bit more something here. I'm just watching the evil guy's plan play out. And I've said that a number of times, I'm going to shut up about it. But it's just frustrating. Like, even here, they're like, there's some shady guys on the team and there's some ties to Kamakura. However, we can't go, conflicting with him. We can't reveal all our cards yet. Unless you have some super plan, you're just being stupid, right? I'm too focused on this rocket launch, which is clearly going to be a set piece as well at some point, right? Who cares about the US? Like, they're irrelevant. Well, they're not, but they might as well be. Like, the enemy is within our nation. Put it that way. Like, yeah, unless you come out firing at some point, being like, "Hey, Fudo's the bad guy. I have evidence." You may have won like #1 stupid award in the show. You're like, we have to believe our father who is outwardly evil all the time, and we already know he has links to what's going on. I don't know. I was going to shut up about it. I'll shut up about it. Plans only start to fall apart once they've been put into motion. Okay, so I guess you're waiting for it to start. I guess, sure. We can grab the loose threads. They keep dangling before us. The wool over our eyes will unravel. Sure. I think there's plenty of loose threads already. I do like the kind of conceit of this phone call, though, right? That just this payphone next to this sweet old lady. She supplies like there's clearly like some spy network shit here, which is cool, like almost John Wick vibes. Then we get this scene, just bathing together casually, and we use that as like a broad framing device for this scene as well, where basically all the girls get together and they're like, so what the hell's even going on here? Also, does Elf9 have a stool? Or is she just standing? Is she that short? I don't understand. Oh yeah, I forgot to bring this up earlier. Yes, Tsubasa just being like a mad bootlicker as well. I'm imagining this has something to do with the whole eye thing, the whole like sentinel thing, the whole focus on being the sword thing. Yeah, just do what we're told. Like I was been told since I was very little. Yeah, no, all that coming back is bad. Kiriko talks about taking it easy or something, and everyone just does the G thing at once, which is good little bit of fan service that everyone gets together and does it. Also, that joke comes back for the Hibiki part later on, like the winter travel magazine. She's got to go away and do something. And then we talked to Elf9 about her days off, which I thought would never happen. This has like been my like internal meme. I can't believe it actually became a part of the show that she never gets a day off. Hibiki seems to be incensed that that Elf9 does work even on her days off, which fits with her character. She definitely needs to be on a beach somewhere. That'd be just like take a week. Don't take any work with you. Just chill. That's what she needs. Which again makes the. I'll talk about the karaoke scene, but just everybody like bickering while she's just singing, having a good time. You ruined her day off. Like ruining Elf9's day off. I can't think of a greater crime, really. Oh, that was just this little part here where Chris like imitates Elf9 as well, like this face. What is this? They call Hibiki here a party animal, which I don't agree with. She's just kind of goofy. She doesn't. I don't know, party animal's different vibe. And then we're wrestling in the bath after shooting her in the face with some water guns. As you do. So now, like, we're still calling it a vacation, but she's essentially on standby. That's why, again, like, if you can be called back into work anytime, I don't feel like that's a very good vacation at all. But either way, here's where she gets the idea to go out and do the shopping thing like she used to do in season 1 with Tsubasa, but bring Elf9 along as well, trying to show her a good time. And yeah, look at Tsubasa up there, just from step 1. Just why'd we invite her? I know you want to make things better, Hibiki, but she's clearly not there yet. Well, that's another cool touch too. So we've got all these snowmen around, which will become part of the scene later on, as Tsubasa melts them all with her blue flame stuff, right? So also doing karaoke, which is another callback as well, because remember when she did like the anchor karaoke early in the show? That's a vibe to me at least. Yeah, so the snowmen represent the good time, and by extension, the 3 characters she's having the good time with, and her overabundance of, I guess her hyper-focus on like this almost like PTSD trauma thing going on with Millark is ruining that. And by extension, melting away these good times. Yeah, pretty good. As well as the snowmen representing people broadly as well. This attack could have like larger ramifications. She basically knocked over like a large building, like people live there or work there or something. So I don't know. Just yeah, we get Elf9 singing. It's a great chance to get Elf9 singing away at something too. Does she have lyrics that I should read, or is it not really all that relevant? Until the day we meet again, the day we can see each other again. I don't want to say we're saying goodbye. Yeah, I'm probably not going to read the rest. I think it's just like a joke. It's an in-joke. It's probably a popular song elsewhere. And then, okay, just this entire conversation, this is one of the strangest scenes in the show. Everybody talks about themselves or the situation in third person. I feel like this was written down as internal dialogue, and then they just turned it into dialogue. Like saying, Tsubasa's been real down lately, so I wanted to cheer her up. And then Tsubasa hearing that is insane. That's not how real people talk at all. And then apologizing, I didn't know what to do with my newly found free time, so I took Tachibana up on her offer. But I don't think my mind is in the right place for this. Yeah, that's true, but this is something you should be thinking, not saying even again. Also, particularly calling her Tachibana, I thought we'd moved on to Hibiki by now, like reverting back. That's the whole vibe of Tsubasa. And then the whole time we're having this like conversation about how bad we're feeling. Elf9's just building out, having a good time. it's It's crazy. This is a crazy person scene. Like this song over the top of Tsubasa talking about her, like, trauma, her PTSD. Like, what? And it's a good thing you're having fun. Nobody else is at all. Because like straight after that, Miku, you should think occasionally Hibiki. Like, and then this frame, the eyes, like, argument happening. Like, Tsubasa's having panic attacks. These two are arguing, and Elf Knight's just singing. I don't get it. Essentially, like, they both know that Tsubasa's in a bad place at the moment, and it's like, why did you do this? Clearly, she's not ready for this, and then that's what they're arguing about, right? And then we get this from Miku. This was actually good. I'll give you guys this one. Miku talking that she does feel somewhat like Tsubasa, like regretful, keep thinking back to what she could have done to save people. Specifically thinking back to another scene involving a concert where she invited Hibiki to the concert, basically to start the show. That is the inciting incident for everything. And she feels guilt for that, you know, all of the stuff that you suffered because of that at school, and then on top of that as well, all the Symphogear stuff that spun off from that, and all the danger you have to put yourself in, and all the turmoil, the trials and tribulations that come from that. She puts it all on her shoulders, which is not the correct thing to do, but understandable and, you know, sympathetic. I feel Miku on this one. So then we get this person, because they get interrupted. There's a call, there's something's happening. You're clearly a rat, like, clearly, and you're getting these two to be distracted by something. At this point, it's just noise. There's just noise. There's nobody controlling the noise. There's nothing else happening there. It feels like a fake fight because it is. You're getting them away from Elf Knight and Miku, or probably Elf Knight at this point in the story, to control what's going on there. We get this giant Kyogre noise in the air, which makes her a cool set piece later on for Tsubasa, but beyond that, again, this is all a sham. We get this weird final goodbye from Hibiki and Miku as well. We'll talk later. Feels like we're not going to be able to talk later because the plot will have started by then, right? Some great looks here, right? Yeah, the one last look there from Miku. Yeah, nice stuff. I feel terrible, but nice stuff. Oh yeah, then we get Tsubasa transformation sequence. So starting from, like, here, this part, it's the same intro from season 1, and her thing is fire with this one, which I really like as a motif for her. Normally a little bit more like water based, broadly. Yeah, I never associated her with fire, put it that way. And, like, this particular part of the animation, I know it's on 2x speed, but, like, just that part, just slow, straight back in, great stuff. I think this is probably the best one so far. Like, the blue bird flying in onto the sword, all the blades around here spinning around the foot, Ame no Habikiri, all the swords in front of the moon there as well, if I can grab the frame. Yeah. Just, how good's that? That's fucking awesome. There was one frame flash of, like, her traditional Japanese aesthetic as well. Again, and this transformation sequence, awesome, great, wonderfully animated. Same with all her fighting in this next scene. Wonderful, great, fantastic. This is a sham fight. This does not matter. You're in a terrible place. You're fighting for all the wrong reasons. Again, it's feel bad action. It really is. The action's good. It's well animated. I just feel terrible. On long nights when all I hear is the falling petals of time, I start to doubt myself. As water flows downhill, so does the life of men ebb away. Okay, these are feel-bad lyrics at least. Helplessly into an uncaring oblivion, powerless to save them, my tears run dry. Yeah, is anybody listening to her? Like, she's she's in a bad way. She's in a real bad way. But even grief may be forged into a blade of judgment. The end may be inevitable, but I raise my sword with hope while I can. What hope? The end may be inevitable, but despite that I keep fighting? But not in an inspiring way at all? Yeah, she needs help. I will spill blood to keep the flame of life burning, but how much longer will this carnage last? This is where Hibiki kind of clues in everything. I like the sub down here as well, very cool. Like, there's normally some kind of villain with these kind of things, like, why isn't anybody here, like, controlling these noise? And she's right, like, there's nobody around. That's when it becomes clear that this is a sham, if it wasn't clear already. Is there an answer? Is there a light at the end? May my sword open up a path to the future? Where, again, Tsubasa doing her bootlicker thing. Do what the HQ tells you. And then immediately we get these three coming in. We have a court order to take over here. You guys need to stand down. Again, this whole red tape theme of the episode. There's no sign of the lead investigator, who is already off with Millark, which we'll see later on. A sword has a duty, it provides strength to the weak. I'll never let that tragedy happen again. And then we get into our PTSD stuff where we just see a bunch of Millarks all over the place, everywhere. I like the sound design too, that kind of almost like ear-ringing tinnitus thing, like harkening back to that tragedy and the sounds she must have heard whilst it was happening. We don't see the eyes here, and we get a flash of the eyes later on right there. Yeah, clearly this is the SEAL invasion thing taking its course as well. And essentially the theme of this part of the fight becomes Tsubasa and collateral damage. She has no care, she's just fighting the noise, full strength, even bringing in some of that Chris stuff we were talking about earlier about collateral damage as well into it. So yeah, like, I'm a sword. What am I doing? I'm trying to protect people, but in the process of trying to get my revenge, I'm hurting people tangentially, right? We don't see any people, but they're represented by the snowmen. Like, clearly this is hurting the populace as a whole, hurting the good times that she holds so dear, that she cherishes. Yeah, this part, effective, very, very effective. Still feel bad, but I think works a little bit better than just watching Fudo do what he wants. This part here does kick ass though, as she like keeps singing as she runs up the building. I will spill blood to keep the flame of life burning. Excuse me. How much longer will this carnage last? Pretty sure this is the chorus. We've read that already. Heavens shall show me the answer and guide me. May my sword open a path to the future. As yeah, we did the big old run up the Kyogre. I should explain what a Kyogre is if you like don't know what Pokemon is. It's a Pokemon, and it looks like that thing. I do like the kind of vibe of the song. The tempo's really quite nice. Again, Nana Mizuki's a great singer. Most of the traditional Japanese techno thing going on, which is weird. As well as the choir. The choir vocals are good in the background as well, even whilst this is happening, like doing a lot of the carrying in the melody, which is nice. Either way, she like burning wrath blade. She throws that huge blade at like one noise, but she thinks it's Millark and burns everything and knocks a building over. And the snowmen go. And then I love the POV eyes here, like great stuff. Yeah, coming to the realization of what you've done. The deep breathing. We never see anybody like breathing deep in Symphogear, like hardly ever. Yeah, it's all very strained. It's all very unnatural. It doesn't feel right. And Maria being the one to worry about Tsubasa the most. What's gotten into you? This isn't like you. There's probably going to be some reconciliation fueled by these two at some point where Tsubasa gets better. Hopefully. We can hope. Or there'd have to be some other like sci-fi concept to it as well, you would think, right? Some reason why it happens within the systems they've established. So now we get into our lead-in for future stuff. They aren't picking up. They're not picking up the phone to Hibiki, whether that be Miku or Elf9. They're too busy running away. Millark is chasing after them. They want to do this the hard way. Elf9's clumsy, so she falls over, which is fair enough. It's snowy out. Miku doing some hero shit, standing in the way, stopping them from getting to Elf9. So the orders are to secure Elf9. But then you get some extra information from Vanessa. Interesting. So she gets this information. Got it. Sorry, it's nothing personal. Grows out huge old nail. This guy gets super horny. Needs to go to the bathroom excited. Something. Weird. Might wet myself with delight. And it's all framed like Miku died. Miku didn't die. I wasn't born yesterday. The guy died. Now that I'm watching this scene again, the orders would have been something like, hey, the bridge has been retaken over or whatever, right? They've got that court order. This guy's dispensable now. We'll get rid of him, and we'll take both of you guys in. I still wonder if they know about the Miku stuff. I don't think they do. I think the only ones that really know that at this point are Genjiro and somebody else, maybe. He was having a conversation with somebody about it back in the day, right? About divine weapons and the Shensho Jing thing, right? Was that on the bridge? Does everybody know? I don't know. Either way, like Miku and Elf9 are going to go into custody. And Colonel Sanders guy's dead. I don't know why I keep calling him Colonel Sanders. He looks nothing like Colonel Sanders, but I'm calling him that because I've stuck with it long enough. And now I'm moving on to episode 6. Hopefully a little bit more happy-go-lucky. This was pretty dire, and I don't like my Symphogear dire. I like it hopeful. I really do. So, yeah. Not my vibe this episode at all. Just, yeah. It's a real down one. Hopefully there's some kind of light somewhere here. That's what I would hope for, right? Yeah, see you guys in the next one. Rightio, got episode 6 up here ready to go. Let me pop that up there. 23 minutes and 40 seconds on this one, so sync up accordingly. Picture in picture, quartz subs. Gonna give it a 3, 2, 1. Rightio, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, you two get somewhere safe. Some kind of final goodbye here, I remember. Definitely recording. That's good too. Miku will talk later. I remember. Yeah, she's got none of her normal class in those moves, right? Yeah, normally she would take the place of telling Chris not to do something with this much collateral damage, right? I like this frame a lot, though. I think I hit my mic too. Apologies. Okay. Smashed phone. Bloody bag. Test that blood. It's not Miku. Nah, you can't. Nah, they didn't murder the both of them. You're not getting me with that. Don't try to get me with that. I wasn't born yesterday. Till I see a body. I'm not doing nothing. Yeah, I feel like even that there. I feel like there has to be some more stuff with Maria. No? Like, she doesn't really have a lot to do at this point right now, rather than her relation to Tsubasa, who has a lot of the plot stuff at the moment. Please do not steal my Elf9. I need her. Yeah, and I keep thinking about that first scene of the season as well, with the Fine implications that we'll get into at some point, I hope. Yeah, interesting, like the two reaching for each other and then the shot of these three. Like, yeah. I do like this particular part of the animation and where it like kicks up a gear in the tempo of the song. And yeah, like punching big old gold laser up to the moon. And this scorpion is still important, right? Xenoglossia? Glossia? Sure. Well, the other thing is they didn't kill the bloke. They could have just had like one of the blood things to make it look like a crime scene. Yeah, test the blood. Is it like the RHXX whatever? Okay. Thanks, Ogawa. Yeah. Yeah, the enemy that was in control of our bridge. Yeah, so Genjiro is aware. Good. I do like the overalls from Elfenine there. The enemy is also the government. Mm-hmm. Oh, you threw. Okay, that's nice. We will. I don't know about well, but we'll find them alive. Head pat. Thanks, Chris, who was notably absent from the last episode. Indeed. Yes. Yeah, fucking just punch her in the back of that. Bro, get Tsubasa out of her. Can you fuck off? Like, honestly. I get it. You have some trauma. But get over it, man. Like, who cares? Just get to the next part, you know? Why is the pacing so terrible for this part? Why can't it be laser quick like everything else? Laser quick? You know what I mean. Razor sharp. I was trying to do like a razor sharp thing. Anyway. Okay, back to the chateau. What is happening? Oh, she does have the bolt down there. I love that. Say Riz point. Our guests, plural. Why is there an operating table? Question mark. Wow. We need somebody that's well versed in this kind of shit and like an operating table. I wonder what's gonna happen. Anyway. I like this. A little bit more layers to it, some internal dialogue, right? Literally hang up. Literally hang up. You can't be cyberbullied if you hang up. Okay. I like this as a vampire vibe too, right? Vampire command. Yeah. Why not hang up? Anyway. Kanade's a weird. Anyway. So you're gonna do like some turncoat shit, even more. Great. Awesome. Yeah, it was the fake blood. Or it was old mate's blood. Yeah, it was made to look like a murder. Okay, I like that. I like that piece of animation. Yeah, we need to find them. Are we going to reveal to everybody? Oh, the divine power thing, everybody. Yeah, Miku, you're right. What is this? What am I looking at? Mannequins? This must be fucked up for yeah, this is the chateau. Yeah, literally. Oh my god. Stop bullying her. Okay. Little flashback. I'm sorry. I'll never not laugh at her falling over. I've literally seen this. Come on, guys. Please offer some new perspective on things. Expeditiously. So, what did you say? Are we going to hear that maybe? Nope. Not going to hear it. Alright. You can cut all of this. What are we doing? Like, why? I'll look at the legit time later in the episode and say, like, what are we doing? Alright. Content. What happened? Yeah, okay, gotcha. What? That's a stupid cheesy line. Okay, that's great. Did you faint at the blood? That's great too. Okay, that's fucking awesome. Alright, that was nothing. Except for, like, Miku falling to the blood. Yeah, she's on the table with the divine thing. Yeah. So it must have been the bridge that heard that, because Elf9 knew it as well. Carol's body to activate something? Like part of the chateau? Those are two terms I haven't heard in ages. What the fuck am I looking at? Uh. The fuck am I looking at? Uh. Okay, I don't like the vibe of that, like, mannequin. Did they, like, drug her? Because you don't stay knocked out this long after, like, just seeing some blood. Yeah, this is definitely a good idea, because it had the bracer on. You should be doing that to Tsubasa. Make Tsubasa the bag at the moment. I'm just over it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you haven't really done much. Oh, the song again. That's nice. Okay, so this is where the Serena stuff's coming in. Alright, this is great. Okay. Should I talk about this now or later? So you're thinking of this relationship as you and Serena, and then Subasa's thinking of it as herself and Kanade. Yeah, go sing. What phrase? Yeah, what is this? Please tell me. Okay, evidence, implying this is evidence to, like, out Fudo. Observation network? Okay. You literally got, like, destroyed last time as soon as we used amalgams. Nice CG cars. Little season 1 reference, maybe. It was. It was some tiki shit. What was that? A certainty of greater than 100%? Why? Yes, it means it must have come internally. Fudo's bad. Who'da thunk? Hello. A voice crack there. I like the boob rockets. Like, a lot. Yeah, she's cool. So when you say go on the offensive, you went Ogawa. I thought you meant you were just, like, gonna go to the bridge and fight 6 Symphogears at once. I know it would make no sense, but I kind of want her to sing right now. Okay, that's fucking awesome. Ninja car clone? What do you mean? Yeah. Okay. Mario Chris? Do we get Chris's again? I'll watch it again. I'm not going to say no. Yeah, it's. But then after, like, here, it gets pretty good. Yeah, the little wings on the thing as well. Bah! Hey, what was that bullet? Oh my god. Look at his arms. She's like, Inspector Gadget. Wait, something pistols? Yeah, she's definitely using the pistols this time, huh? Okay. Yeah, but there's more than 2 gear users. Surfing on cars is, like, an awesome idea, though. Okay, how do you know this? Oh my... the Iraq War? Okay. No one knows its origin. Why is Chris like the stable one this season? It's crazy. This like role reversal. Someone like she now leads the ones that led her. What's that? That was a funny line too. Well, that's a great shot too. I love that shot. Oh my god! I hope nobody was in that car. Shut up! Oh my god! It looked like she was giant. Nope. Not if we work together. All right, this is nice and hopeful. I like this. Fire! What is happening? Did she just like redirect the missiles? When? We won? Yeah, shoot her in the head. Or I'll shoot you in the head. I'll give you one guess where she is. Materialize. How much longer in the episode do we have? Yeah, like 20 seconds. So I'd imagine we're not going to see any of this. It's just going to be the implication, right? Just like Apple. We going to see anything? What the fuck? Okay. Is that like the weird cocoon thing, similar to the Hibiki cocoon from the end of the last season? Other than that, I don't know. Again, I like... Okay, a lot of my problems are fixed as soon as we have like one hopeful fight, like where we actually save some people and like the two characters like work together, and there's like some positive stuff there. Like a lot of it's alleviated, but again, a lot of the same problems that I've had with the previous episode in this episode. I know where we're getting to. It's just a matter of getting there, and getting there is painful for everybody involved, and the pacing is horrendous, where it seems like Tsubasa is going to go down even further, which sucks. Like, we've seen 4 seasons of her, like, getting out of this. I don't know. And it feels like the pacing really suffers because of it. Because I know the location, and we're just trying to get to the location, I feel like I'm just not able to enjoy any of the journey. I just kind of want to get there. Because the journey at the moment is painful for the characters that I care about, and I don't want to see them like this. I can't even enjoy the story of it, the cheese of it at the moment. It's just stressful. And I think how they do this is they keep their cards closer to their chest for a lot longer about who's responsible for certain stuff. That's how I would write it to fix it anyway. I mean, that even implying that it needs fixing. It doesn't need fixing. It's just that I'm not particularly fond of it at the moment. And yeah, it's normally lightning quick pace is dragging as a result. But anyway, I'll talk about it more in a little bit of an analysis segment upcoming. Alright, so episode overall, the last fight does a lot to redeem it in my eyes. It helps that to feel a lot better. But before that, it was a mix of I already know what's happening and repeated content, which you can't be doing repeated content, especially just from the last episode. I mean, I'm just like, get on with it, basically, right? In that Tsubasa scene as well, which she's like being mean to everybody. I'm just get on with it. Whatever's going to happen, and it seems like we're going down further, let it happen. And stop bullying my friends, Tsubasa. I guess this shows I have a pretty strong emotional connection to the show. I didn't think I would react this way to this kind of stuff happening. But I just want to see my friends in a better place. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, this sucks. But it's meant to suck. But it sucks. Yeah, again, same story as last episode for large swaths of it. But you know what does suck, and I don't have to feel bad about talking about it? Repeated content. So let's go through here. Repeated. We were all basically repeated up to like this point where we see this police stuff and we see what actually happened, and there's a bit of a crime scene. And then again, somewhere in here, somewhere, yeah, this is all repeated content as well. Again, like why? Why do this to me? Yeah, so I think as a whole, the episode would be stronger if it had more going on as well. Because I guess I'll just get into it. A large swaths of the episode are, I already know what's going to happen, just let it happen, or characters being mean, or repeated content, and then there's a fight at the end, which I think is neat. Which also has, again, some repeated content in the same song used previous, along with Chris's transformation sequence. It feels like not a cheap episode, but one where they're reusing a lot of stuff. Let's put it that way. But yeah, overall plot developments. Let's talk about it. So Miku, I don't have my pen. Either way, Miku, you know who Miku is. Miku's going to turn into some kind of big bad, which is cool. I did like the part where she was like underwater and reaching out to whatever that figure may be down below with the bracer on. It was a great metaphorical, like, representation of that. I thought that was neat. I think Millark is too evil again. She's gone back on the I don't like her anymore. So her design still isn't strong enough for her to like push over Elf9 and me to feel okay about it. Because Elf9 don't push her. I guess the intriguing stuff is whatever the hell those mannequins were and why they need Elf9 to control the chateau. I hope we go into that a little bit more. Apparently, materialization is something? Question mark? That is happening to Miku at the moment, and it shouldn't have happened already, but it has. But Elf9 needs some sort of relic to power something somewhere along the way. Again, question mark. A lot of that side of it will be revealed eventually. Why they need Elf9, why they need the chateau. That's a little bit more interesting to me. But other than that, we don't see what evil Miku, whatever evil Miku will look like. Did they think the audience was dumb? Because I don't know why you would tell a story like this. Why you would blatantly foreshadow the developments halfway through a season at the end of the last season. You know? So, again, you need to hold more cards close to your chest. You need us to not know what's going on, for it to be a little bit more surprising, for a Kamakura reveal a little bit later or something, right? I don't know how many other ways I can say I just knew what was going to happen. And now we enter our new content, again, 55 seconds in. I guess the surprising thing here is that I was actually right about the nail. It being used to cut his neck because he wasn't of use anymore, rather than actually being used on a pack of blood, which I thought may have been the other idea there. Again, I wasn't born yesterday. I don't know why they spend so much of the episode trying to convince me that Miku died. Tell you who had a good episode? Ogawa had a good episode. He was smart. He did some ninja car stuff towards the end. He found the evidence with the tiki thing that kind of linked Kamakura to the events going on, which now we can prosecute or attempt to prosecute. He's probably too powerful now. Everywhere along the journey, I just think it's better if we don't know that Kamakura is involved yet. Like, what if we were just investigating it? It's just randomly we found this relic, and we're like, what does this mean? How can this impact the plot? How is this relevatory? And then, like, we don't play like the audience knows it already, and then, like, either at the end of this episode or the end of the next episode or something, we get that reveal. It's like, I've been behind it the whole time. I was the one that gave them this relic. I'm the one that's backing them. And then we get the Tsubasa stuff where she realizes that, hey, this guy's been responsible for it the whole time. And we could still have him berating Tsubasa along the line, right? And maybe some small little tidbits here and there to show that he's involved. I just think it's a way better writing decision. I don't know how you finagle it. I don't know how you get your Noble Red character development stuff across without him yet. Maybe put it like a literally like again like Inspector Gadget, like Dr. Claw him, right? Like literally like put him in a room, put a voice changer on, make him look weird, make him look like some kind of other big bad, and then it's just revealed to be Kamakura. I think that would be cooler. So it's now clear why they wanted these two. They're in the chateau. They need to activate the chateau. They need either Carol or the next best thing, which is Elf9. She also has that alchemist knowledge to be able to fix any problems and that kind of thing. And they need Miku because she's the vessel, which has been discussed at length. Toyota haven't talked about the background music in a while. This particular track, very pretty. Got that kind of central melody I've heard a lot in Symphogear. I cannot hum it for you right now, for it is too complex. But yeah, just nice, right? Some nice cooldown stuff, like investigation music. It's good. So yeah, again, we're continuing. If we're gonna pick like season MVPs, Chris has to be up there. Just no enemies, Chris. That's the vibe we got going on with her. She's got no drama. She's just being a good friend. She's being supportive. Look at this look. Like this is like, hey, cheer up. It's gonna be okay. We'll find out something. I've got your back. Just great stuff out of Chris. Love it. And then later on, like she saves all those people and she like shoots some missiles that get redirected and like she wins a fight. She wins a fight. How good. Yeah, I just wish more characters could follow your lead, Chris. So Kirika and Shirabe are talking about how it was a decoy, and then maybe we shouldn't have followed the orders. Are you saying I erred in my judgment of the situation? Yeah, and then she just gets like weirdly aggro, like so what? So what? She like arcs up. Everyone tells her to calm down. Like, think for a second about how like Hibiki must be thinking at this point, right? Like her literal like best friend, has been kidnapped and is presumed dead, and you're doing this? Like, I'm sorry, I don't care if you've been like brain fucking jutsu'd. I don't care. You're just being a fucker, and I just wish I had old Tsubasa back, please. Please bring her back. Or not old Tsubasa, new Tsubasa. Like Tsubasa from like, when was she like not problematic? Last season, she had no enemies last season. Bring her back. Slapping the hand? Like you can like whimper and do it like in golf and so like I don't care. Like get over it. I hate this. I hate this so much. Heart is in jagged little pieces. Alanis Morissette reference. Is she based? Interesting. Okay, so now we pan over to the chateau. We've got this like alchemist circle, various crystal stones around it, bracer in the middle. We'll use these restraints to harness the undirected energy we extract from the bracer. Finally, our goal is within reach as we bring the two subjects, patients potentially, to the base. So we have this thing surrounded by a bunch of technology. It's all pointing at one operating table with the bracer. It's just so obvious, man. With the divine power, we can finally take back our future. Now, this is a benefit of me, or not a benefit, detriment. Detriment of me missing last week. I forget what their goal is. I know that they don't want to be treated as outcasts or monsters anymore, right? That's a broad part of it. They want to be treated as equals. They probably want to broadly remove the curse of Belial like the rest of the alchemists. And to do so, to gain that power, they need, or they don't need, but their goals aligned with Fudo. But I think Fudo's just going to say, fuck you, because he's evil. I don't know. Yeah, I straight up forget. But I haven't seen Tsubasa working on the bike in yonks. Like, since there was a flashback in maybe season 1. Where she was doing it and then talks with Kanade for a bit. At least there's some acceptance of fault here, right? I lash out at others. I'm the one at fault here. I can't protect the weak. But then she gets a call. She's obviously got like caller AD. It's this guy. It's my like dad that I hate. And he's just gonna like abuse me. Why even answer? Why answer the phone? I've been informed of your failure. But essentially, this conversation is just a setup for him to say the line. Where she just like becomes controlled? Question mark. I don't know. Yeah, he puts even more doubt in her mind about everything. This is not your battlefield. Yeah, SEAL command. We finally get to see what a SEAL invasion is all about. And the thing that's really striking me is I think we would do this. I thought we would do this to more characters, right? I thought like Mario would get one, or like fucking Kiriko would get one, or something like that. And essentially, what this means is that like there's some weird vampire control stuff going on. Like vampires have like control stuff in their power set, right? Like that's something like look them in the eyes and control them, make them a thrall, something to that effect. Um, and I'm thinking this is the same application of that here, but I just thought it would happen to more characters than just one. Is this your battlefield? Is this where you? What can you truly defend? Like, and then the eyes are like. I thought it'd be like way more of like a straight up mind control thing, but essentially it's just like put further doubt on it. I didn't even know that we could go further. If you feel lost, come to me. I will guide you. And those lines I just said were to make you feel lost. So whatever point we get to, there's going to be a part where Tsubasa's just like, I'm going to betray you all, and I'm going to become team Kamakura, which is bad. I liked that a lot, like the teary eyes and then wiping it and getting a bit of that grease on the cheek. That was good. I don't know what saying Kanade means though. Like, what would you do in this situation, Kanade? Why aren't you here to help me? We have an emergency strategy meeting for which Tsubasa is late for. Essentially, we just reveal a bunch of stuff, right? So we tested the blood. The blood is not the blood of either Miku or Elf9, which is good, meaning they probably haven't been murdered. I do like this reaction from Hibiki upon learning the news. Great, genuine emotion there. Chris like happy about it too. See, like the eyebrows. See, I told you to stay strong and that kind of thing, right? It's nice. It's plucky from Chris. I like that. If they were only kidnapped, then where did all that blood come from? It's from cutting All Might's neck. We essentially get Shirabe to what's the word? Facilitate the exposition that we, the audience, already know, but the rest of the girls don't. She essentially asks the question, why Miku? Miku because divine energy vessel, or divine power vessel, whatever the term is. And a smart decision there isn't literally explaining it to us in real time, it's letting that meeting fall into the background and being told about later on. Now we pan to Elf9. Elf9 wakes up in the chateau, which must be fucking pretty strange to her. And she gets bullied for a bit. Okay, we need like a scale on screen. Currently, likable. You're likable right now, Millark. I like the the like maid talk that you just did. I've been wanting to say that ever since I arrived in Japan. Hey, still very likable. Even grabbing the face like this results in some cute Elf9 stuff. And throw it to the ground. Scale goes to unlikable very quickly. Don't do that. What are you doing? And then yeah, probably the episode's absolute low point is an uninterrupted. So we're starting at 9:55. We go through to 11:06 without any new content. There's nothing in there that's new. That is a repeat, frame for frame, bar for bar from last episode. Like, and I just don't understand why you would do it. Unless they had some budget stuff going on, which isn't unrealistic. Like there should be no reason for this. Either way, we finally see what the geyser of blood is from. It's from this guy. He has a really cheesy line. They didn't say it'd be raining blood in the forecast. And I guess he like he gets like burned, fine, and like Miku collapses from like the sight of blood, which is fair enough. It's pretty damn violent. You've had some of the most violent moments in the series, Millark. It's pretty impressive this late on. Yeah, and nice POV stuff these couple of episodes actually, like a shaky Elf9 POV as like the wings spread out and become a cape. Very villainous. I don't know why you get knocked out. Are you scared of blood too? Like I can understand Miku, but why Elf9? She's in like the line of duty a lot. I don't understand why she would be that scared of that. That also begs the question later on, is that how is Miku still unconscious when, like, she only saw the sight of blood? When's she gonna wake up? Unless they like drugged her again while she was sleeping. And Elf9 being smart character, she clues into the Curse of Belial thing immediately, the divine energy, divine power vessel. And we want you to activate something with Carol's body, because it's literally what you're possessing. And then here's a couple of terms I haven't heard in ages. So we can't control or pilot the chateau without the Yantra, Savasva, and Nephilim's arm. Without neither of these, one of which I'm pretty sure Carol uses, and one of which, what's his stupid name? Ver uses at some point. If both of these things are lost, how can we pilot it? So we don't want you to use the chateau. This is what we want you to operate. It looks like some kind of generator with a big old mannequin in the middle. So we know there was a system in which Carol had backups and copies and that kind of thing, right? What do you actually need Elf9 for? Because it seems like the Miku side of it went off without a hitch. Is Elf9 in more peril than I realize? Is something bad going to happen to Elf9 as well? Okay, that's an interesting wrinkle. That's something I didn't see before. And like a ton of like coffin mannequin things all leading up to this one mannequin at the top, and a bunch of like evil technology. Who like built this as well? That's like crazy. Now we see Miku falling in the void. How much longer is it going to be till I reach the bottom? I need to do something. Hibiki must be worried. Still thinking about Hibiki even in this moment. The most important thing in the world, making up with Hibiki. We see these arms reaching out to embrace. One of them has the bracer on. Shemha, I should say. Who are you? I don't know. I don't know. You've got long hair, and you're holding a bracer, and you're ready at the bottom of our whole ocean metaphor, which we've been using throughout the entire show. Whenever somebody's like unconscious, this is their like thinking state. We've never seen anybody reach that bottom. We've never seen anybody drift this far. It's a very, very deep blue. Yeah, this is nothing but bad, as evidenced by the end of the episode where we see the bad thing occurring. So we cut away from that basically immediately. That comes back at the end. We see a little bit of Maria set up here for some Serena stuff. The latest incident swept even our like friends that don't do combat. It swept them into the fray. And this is shocking, along with the revelation of the Shenshou-jing, what we the audience knew already. That's something we've all had to accept and come to terms with, panning to Hibiki. Again, broadly pretty determined about it, which is nice. And Maria lamenting the fact that she can't help Tsubasa with what she's going through right now. Haven't been able to reach out, and relating it to a fight that she used to have with Serena when she was very little. So we're mirroring this with the Kanade line from Tsubasa earlier in the episode, like, man, I wish somebody similar to Kanade would be here, and then Maria's like, man, this reminds me of Serena, you know, like that, they should come together. At some point and help each other. It'll be glorious when it happens. Right now we're just in the doldrums waiting for it to happen. But any excuse to hear that Apple song again is welcome. One of the best cold opens of the series actually is that one in G. It's very good. Music always connected us. We didn't need words to reconcile, potentially implying that there could be some song on the horizon that will facilitate the reconciliation. That would be nice. Is this implying something? This line here, forever. Is this implying something about the lyrics? The stars were born and then the songs, and the Lulu Amel could smile forever, right? Forever's the last line that's supposed to be there. The Lulu Amel could smile forever. Where did you hear that recently? I don't even know that. But you're implying something about the Lulu Amel, I think, which is a term from way back in the day, broadly related to stars? Question mark? Yeah, I remember people saying when I queried it in the past, they're like, just keep it in mind, it'll come back. So, Lulu Amel, keeping it in mind still. So now I feel stupid, because at the start of the episode, I'm like, man, that thing looks like the Tiki thing. Antikythera. Another thing that came up on that conspiracy theory video I was watching, which was funny. I'm like, oh, Tiki reference. But yeah, so this is important. Let me explain so I don't have to go through a ton of dialogue explaining it. This relic is under the possession of an arm of the Japanese government, right? A specific arm where Kamakura is aligned, right? So it being in the hands of Noble Red, without any knowledge of it being stolen from anywhere, is a very, very clear indicator that Fudo is involved in Noble Red's business, and we can implicate him, and our worst suspicions have been confirmed. Now, again, this would be great if the audience didn't already know that he was involved. I think that, yeah, that is one writing change I would make immediately. Because at this point in time, I guess it facilitates an action scene, like this chase, and he gets to do car ninja stuff, which is cool. But other than that, it involves a bunch of dialogue where where the characters are like, this implicates Fudo. This implicates Fluto. This implicates. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm the audience. Of course I know. I guess we don't follow the journey of it at all, which is frustrating. Yeah, no, we're not aligned with the protagonists in that way. So Vanessa clues in immediately that they've discovered this, and then says, "Hey, I'm going to go on the offensive. You guys hold out at the chateau, make sure it all happens. I'm going to go fix this myself." Now, these two have seemingly cornered Elf9 as well. So, like, again, I don't know what are you doing? Are you supplying power? Question mark. Is that all you're doing? Or should I be worried about Elf9? We see it here as well again. The big old bolt in the back of her hair. Just a fabulous, fabulous design decision. That's just so good. I can't stress enough how much I love that. The other funny thing here is when we're explaining that the tiki the tiki mechanism, we're certain that it's the same one with a certainty of 119.6%. It's realer than real. So a relic thought lost is now in the enemy's lab. There were no reports of it being stolen. What gives? Apparently, there's a disaster prevention law, which all domestic control of all relics with the Kazanari institution. Yeah, again, this implicates Fudo. Oh, and this is just fabulous. Like, look at her. Like, every single time it's gonna kill me. That's fantastic. Yeah, this is an awesomely framed action scene. Vanessa feels genuinely like threatening here. She's got a lot of tricks. It's very fun. It's very fun and does a lot to redeem the rest of the episode. I do like her big old stupid flared jeans that turn into like roller skates as well. That's 2 cars down now as well, which results in Ogawa like ramping up here and the car doing like multiple flips midair as he dodges some missiles. Switch on Collider. We're going to fall into this car, try to pierce it. Ninja car clone is the technique we're using to avoid that one. Yeah, just fantastic stuff. Along with the sting in the audio, great, fantastic stuff. Before we know it, Maria and Chris are on the scene. We play out her transformation sequence for the next little bit as well, before diving into that same Chris song from 2 weeks ago. I think the implication here is that she bends the bullets, potentially with Maria's help, and that surprises Vanessa. And there's like this shot here, as we pierce the ground, create some kind of barrier. I like her arms still like all the way out as well, like Go-Go Gadget arms. They like behind Maria at the moment and proceed to shoot her. Yeah, see? Great stuff. There's also like a compartment in her palm that houses noise that are also on segways. Great. We hit her with a Hornet pistols, which is like a bunch of like curving bullets. And now we're going to use a bunch of civilian vehicles to like keep the fight mobile. Reminding me almost of that fight in Axis. I failed the intercept, but at least I can slow down the gear users. Do you mean to impact civilians again? Yes, I do. Like very cordial, very... Yes, I do mean to do this. Then this is weird, right? So, Agatlam, I'm surprised you and your sister have been able to wield its light with no doubts. What do you mean? That relic was originally taken by the US military during the Iraq War. Again, another thing implied by this conspiracy video I was watching, right? Where it's like, oh yeah, the US did the Iraqi war and all that kind of stuff, right? To get access to ancient technology in that area. Just like, what? But yeah, I love how we're applying that to Symphogear. That's cool. Unlike other relics, it's a mysterious gear that was given a name of convenience because no one knew its origin. Or is it? I don't know if she's lying or not. But either way, Chris is the rock. Chris, like, brings her in, like, hey, focus up. She's trying to get into your head. It'd be more interesting if she was correct. Like, some actual, like, drama around a relic. That'd be interesting. Like, around the implications of it. I wonder if we'll get into that again. Either way, yeah, Chris pulls her back in. We're going to focus and fight and win. And then this line here, if this is the end, at least let me see. I thought that this had some sexual indications, considering Chris's pose here. So because Chris is standing in his way, she puts a big old hole in the bridge, where this guy just drives straight off. He just can't see, which is funny. We send Mari in to do some cool spin shit and engage with Vanessa, which is interesting considering they're like mirroring characters. This is the second fight she's even had with Vanessa in this season. Vanessa, feeling very smug, looks like you failed to save innocent lives again. Again, fighting dirty, using these kind of tactics. But Chris, no, she was doing hero shit while she sent Mario to go fight. She's like carrying a car out of the air with her giant rockets. Mario even like deflects all the bullets around it here to keep her from, or to keep her able to be saving the car. If I phrase that correctly, you know what I mean. Chris finally gets on level ground, is able to shoot these missiles as well, which get deflected by Maria's Argat alarm and able to hit her from behind. Yeah, and gun to head, bang, we have won. That was a great fight. Actually, really, really engaging, well put together, flowed well up onto the highway. Yeah, really, really great fight. And ends with a "put your hands up" from Chris as well, which is just I want that sound effect. That's fantastic. It's a small victory for a group of characters, the good characters who haven't had a good victory since episode 4. This needed to happen, I think. However, this was all in vain. Materialization, whatever that means, has already started. We hear the sound as well, which I feel like we've heard before. It's the sound from like when they were first testing and activating the relic. We heard this sound, right? It probably has some larger implications for some godlike stuff. Apparently, it resounds with my heart just like Apple. This Mario stuff's like more interesting to me because I don't already know what's going to happen. Yeah, I don't know about this. What are we implying here with Apple as a song? Weird, really weird. Is it to do with the relic? Either way, here's our big reveal. We see whatever this is. I've got no clue. I'm theorizing it's like the cocoon that Hibiki had. So Miku's going to come out of this and be something. She'll probably have a cool design, I'll give her that. And then straight into the ED. So yeah, frustrating's a strong word. I don't know what word I would use. They were just Symphogear if Symphogear was like dire. If Symphogear was a little bit more predictable than it has been. I don't know, maybe, yeah, I just think that all of the plot developments since we've revealed Fudo, which was a big surprise, have been very understandable for me. And like we are going to get to this location no matter what. It's just a matter of how, and the process of how has been aspects of it have been frustrating. I wish I had more examples of just evil characters getting away with evil shit for way too long. But it's one of my least favorite tropes. Just, I don't know how else you do it. You just don't reveal all your cards immediately, which I've talked about a number of times. I don't need to go into it again. But like, I don't know. We're going to get some kind of high off of this eventually, and because we've dug so low, the high is going to be incredible. I'm sure of it. It's just a matter of getting there, and it's a matter of not being able to binge it, and it's a matter of sitting on 2 episodes of Symphogear where a bunch of bad stuff happens for another week. That paired with some frustrating production stuff in episode 6, where we're reusing a lot of stuff which I didn't think was cool. But we ended with a great fight, so you can't take that away from them at all. But yeah, hopefully we get into some stuff that isn't as predictable in the next portion. I wonder how Elf9's doing. Is she okay? Has there been some implications about Elf9 there? I was unsure. Is it just Elf9 on a computer? I can do that. I just don't want Elf9 to become like evil. Evil Elf9, we already saw her. Her name was Carol, and she wasn't evil. Yeah, I just hope I didn't come across as too abrasive. I'm still really enjoying myself. It's just frustrating at the moment, which it's meant to be. I hope I've gotten that across without being too annoying about it, which would have been my worry in doing so. But yeah, we'll see more next week. We'll get into more of that stuff. I'm sure you guys have a lot to say about the events of these 2 episodes. But yeah, looking forward to more. Looking forward to hitting some climaxes off of this. That would be great. Anyway, just some chill stuff. If you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I could do to improve my presentation, comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you would like me to follow you back. And the Discord. Join Discord. Love Discord. Talk about Symphogear on the Discord and engage in Discord type operations. Yeah, it's pretty fun. I like Discord. Anyway, I'll catch you guys next week for more Symphogear goodness. And yeah, I'll catch you guys then. Bye-bye.